Okay, so here's tonight's find. Briggs & Stratton. Motor's in good shape, doesn't make power. Every time I buy one of these, I swear I'll never buy another one, but here I am. Let me get it out and see if I can assess what's wrong. Okay, there's a few tests we can run with the generator off, so that's what I'm going to do tonight, and just assess really the condition of the coils. If those are shot, then this is just going to be a parts machine. If the coils test good, then I will continue. It could be the voltage regulator, the brushes, or loss of magnetism. Or some combination of that. Okay, so this is the voltage regulator here. I'm gonna just remove that and get it out of my way for now. And take note of where these are plugged in. Usually the red is on the left, the white is on the right. It's positive and negative. Just looking at the coils, on the stator look pretty good. The rotor is a little bit darker. And I've probably picked up 5 of these this summer. And 2 of them, it was a wire that popped off the slip ring on the rotor, and the other 2, the stator was actually fried. And I'm clipping this. Okay, so the first test I'm going to do is to test the rotor, the ohms. You're supposed to connect to the brushes directly, which I can probably do. I'm going to the slip rings directly to get an accurate reading. But I am going to start going through the brushes. The reading will be off, but I want to make sure there is a reading. Otherwise, the brushes could be bad. Okay. So I set my meter to ohms, and I'm going to just touch it to each contact. Okay, there's no reading, so that's not good. I did notice the brushes are a little loose, so potentially there's a problem there. So I'm going to try connecting directly to the slip rings and just bypass the brushes and see if I get any reading. Yeah, it's not good. I get a reading, but it's in mega ohms, which is very bad. Yeah, I don't think there's any reading. I think it's the resistance through my fingers. So this is probably a parts machine. I'll take a closer inspection of the rotor. Maybe I can see where the broken wire is, but this thing's probably junk. All right, so I'm just testing the stator now. This is the voltage sense and the low power for the voltage regulator. Got 1.6 ohms on that one. 0.1 on that one. So those are good. And then these, I probably need to disconnect them to get an accurate reading, but let's see what this says. .4, 0.5 ohms, that's perfect. 0.4 ohms. So I think the stator is good. The problem is the rotor in the middle. And unfortunately, that's not really a serviceable thing. I might take the stator off just to get a better look at the rotor, but yeah, and the coils do look pretty dark. Just trying to see if I can find a break anywhere. So I am going to pull off this end cap and remove the stator and get a better look at the stator and the rotor. So to remove this is actually pretty easy, at least the stator. You just got to remove these two bolts. Okay, now this whole assembly can lift up. In order to do that, you need to put something under the engine. I'm going to use a chalk block. And when the engine sits down on it, it'll push this up enough so that it clears the screws. And then I'll probably need a puller, to pull this off. And then I can just slide the stator right off. Okay, so the first thing I notice is that the rotor was making contact with the stator. On one side only. Other than that, nothing obvious. Let's take a look at the stator. Don't see any obvious problems with it, so let me test it again with the meter. Maybe this isn't junk. I got a good reading. And from what I can tell, see if I can show you this. That wire is loose. It's still wrapped around the terminal on the slip ring, but I can definitely move it so it's not a good connection. See that? And when I test the rotor from here to the one that is connected, I get a good reading. I will try to show you that now with one hand. Perfect. So I'm gonna try to reflow the solder and see if that fixes this issue. Not the prettiest, but it's on. So I'm going to reconnect the stator wires. This is the order: red, brown, white, blue. Very important to do that correctly. Okay, and these are the wires that go up to the outlets up here. And this is the order they go in: blue, black, gray, red. So I'm just going to go one by one. Okay, red goes on the left. Okay, sorry about that. Apparently I wasn't recording, but I finally got this screwed on, got the boot all set, and we're ready to go. So tomorrow I'll bring it outside, start it up, see if there's any electricity or if it's just gonna go up in smoke. Okay, so here we are, a couple days later. I haven't actually started this before. I was assured the engine is good, so now we're about to find out and also see if the repair is gonna generate power. I also have a drill close by in case we have to flash the field. Sometimes when they run without making power, you know, due to a loose wire, it'll lose residual magnetism, so there's a good chance that that's gonna happen. So I'm gonna try first without the drill, see what happens, and if that doesn't work, then I'll try the drill trick. So let's see. Gas on, choke on, engine on, and nothing. Not bad. Engine's running a little slow. It was below 60 hertz with half a load, so I think there's an adjustment screw. Yeah. It's actually right there and right there. So I'm going to adjust the engine speed a little bit, bring it up to about 61 hertz with no load, and then I'll put a half load on it and it should settle down around 60. And then I'll just leave it at that. Okay, forgot to turn the camera on for the adjustment, but I did exactly as I described. Basically just sped it up to about 61 hertz with no load, put a half load on, it settled down to about 59.9, which is where you want it. Generators do fluctuate a bit, so, you know, generally with no load, you know, a little over 61 is good, and at full load you really don't want it dropping below 58. So try to keep it obviously as close to 60 as you can with a medium load, and in this case this generator medium load is about 2500 watts. So that about does it for this. It is all fixed. I thought it was going to be a parts machine, but it's good. So thanks for watching.